how much of you know about Caots? Anyone who's heard about Caots? Good. Normally I speak at technical conferences and hardly anyone knows about Caots, so I'm pleased that at least few knows. So what I'm going to take is I'm going to take the digitization high level a little bit lower and talk to you about 4 different type of examples from finance. Then I'm taking you into logistics, which are done with Alibaba. Then I'm taking the factory floor, what we have done. And then I'm talking about with the customers and the brands, what we're doing. So we're going to talk about practical things we've done and which we have delivered ROI. We have a digitization program. We call it digital transformation. People call it different things. So I'll just walk you through, and I want you to is take something home so that you can implement simplified versions so that you will be able to practically implement something. And right, so talking about Caots, first of all, Caots is across all the world. We are in about 170 countries. We have 50 locations where factories are, so we are almost everywhere. We are a FTSE 250 based in US, UK, share market, and our headquarters in UK. So, and we have offices in Charlotte and around the world. Right, if you want to know something about Caots, we do a lot of digital stuff in fabric, but most of our core relies on building threads. So we produce enough threads to go to moon and get back in every 3.5 hours. So we produce a hell of a lot. Huge footprint of manufacturing, and about 1 million tea bags are brewed. Thanks for using tea bags. You're paying for us, and or some of you, most of you are wearing Caots because 2 out of 5 garments are stitched together with Caots thread. And so if you're safe with your airbags, yeah, it's Caots because we produce enough threads for, and we put all shoes together. And we were very old. We are a 250-year-old company, 2 centuries, and we were involved from Industry 1.0 upwards, and we are there, but we are behind the curve on Industry 4.0. But we'll show you something that we have done. More than all, we are looking at innovation things. Talked about electrical textiles. Yeah, we are in it. We are doing works with Nike, Amaze. We do it a different way, co-create value with the brands, and we work with Formula One. We want to create textile is used to create composite, which is lightweight, but it's stronger than metal. So we are working with Formula Ones, and there is building going on at the moment. But it's a big market to get into. If you get into a Formula One, that means we can get into flights, planes. The body of the planes is very heavy, and if you make it composite, it's going to be so light, and it's going to change the whole dimension because it's going to be so light and it's going to be very fuel efficient. If you can get that in, and we are working hard on that area. So we are working with a lot of co-creation with a lot of players. Boeing, it could be Airbus, it could be Formula Ones. We work with different people to co-create values. So I'm going to talk in terms of business processes, how we co-create. Talk about that, we are into softwares now. So it's about a $5-6 million business for us. We put standards in GST, which hope most of you have heard about in the garment industry. The fast react, thread sew, all are part of Caots. Right, digitization of business. So people talk about digitization. There is a lot of different versions. Everyone talks it differently. This is the Gartner glossary. What do they mean by digitization? For them, it's about using technology to create revenue or opportunities. So that's how they see Gartner. It's all about technology because they are more IT driven. And this is McKinsey. McKinsey is more process driven. So they're customer side, they're customer focused. So they're saying, oh, using customer centric experience, foundation capability, and driving the frontier differently. So they're different. And I like this one, which is boundary information. This is a TOGAF standard that we use in architecture. This was developed by with the defense in US, and it's being used by MOD in UK, and then Boeing. So a lot of people are using this. That's another way of showing. So I'm going to show you some different examples how Caots have done in our digitization journey. So when I go to an organization or meet a customer or supplier who's doing digitization, first question I ask is, what does digitization mean to you? What do you mean? What do you do? how do you feel? What the person in the shop floor feels of digitalization? What is different? What is it? And I'm going to show what it means for Caots. Right. When we get a project or requirement, or when you evaluate, we put it in 4 buckets. One is it giving you bottom line improvements? Simple. Productivity improvement, SDNA reduction, waste reduction, stocks reduction. Simple. Bottom line improvements. Straightforward. Put into your appraisal, get it through. Easy. Or profitable growth, top line growth. Easy. These are, you want to get more sales, generate more revenue. Easy. So that good. Or margins to increase. What is difficult is new knowledge like data science, IoT. How are you going to get productivity out of it? What are you going to work? Innovations. How is going to convert into value? And to be agile, to be more visible, visibility, supply chain visibility. It's very hard work to put them into ROI. Something that sells easily is as well risk. If you have risk, to reduce it, to make reliability. So we put it into buckets and we look at it. So I'm going to give you something that we have taken from different buckets for finance, as I said, manufacturing, and I'm going to show you how Caots have done it practically. Right. Anyone knows what's this? Fantastic, the bank book. I have used one. I remember when I was small, my dad gave me one, so I had one. So long time back, these were existing. So you need this when you went to the bank before. And when you take the bank book, you get a QR, they print it on it, and that's how we know a bank balance. Good old days. And they were using, like Standard Chartered, they were using the green screen systems to do all these things. Someone goes and print it, you write a form, and they want digitized. Sorry. And they had to fax it to another place if you're paying into 2 different units, because if not, they don't know what's the bank balance, but they are individual systems. And the ATM came. First ATM is in London, and if you had a picture with myself, I went to that place, it's still there, still operational, couldn't find it. And with that, they moved the needle to more closer, convenient for us. But the system was the same. They were using green screen systems until 2016. Standard Chartered, and they upgraded very recently. And then we moved into a smart era where we deliver the same information, same data into your smartphone. And anywhere in the world now you can see your bank account. It's amazing. Your account might be sitting in some in London or some in bank in one location in a system, but it can be visible anywhere in the world. The data can be moved, transformed. It could be visible anytime in your smartphone, on demand. So they've gone through the journey. So we had a problem. Standard Chartered Bank is one of our strategic banks. We deal with about 50 banks around the world. Just alone with Standard Chartered Bank, we have 80 accounts, bank accounts. Could be dollars, could be euros, anywhere. So all around the world, we have 80 bank accounts. Now, how do we know our bank balance at any given time? How do we know if we're running out of dollars, that we need to put more dollars, that we have to convert euros into dollars, or because you need to currency. If you ask your treasury team, they have to go and fetch their currencies in advance so that you don't run out of currencies. And customers pay you, and you don't know exactly when they pay you, but you know when you're going to pay your suppliers. But you don't want to run out of bank enough money, so if you run out of your own overdraft, then you get a penalty. So how do you manage this in a large organization? Do you put people around? We have a lot of people in finance doing this. And they fill it, they manage each account. And every month they fill all their Excel worksheet and send and say, this was the transaction in the account, and send it to the central team sitting in London, and they're putting it into a system. It was all manual. And the month-end closure takes about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. And our plan is to reduce the month-end closure to 2 weeks. So part of that, we say, if you can see in our mobile our own accounts, why can't we see all our bank balances, transactions? Just go back and check in your organization how you do it. We have 4 SAP systems, we have 1 legacy system. Okay, now we need to get this information here automatically. So we went with Standard Chartered Bank, a lot of discussions with them. We said, okay, you're giving it to the consumers. We want to know our accounts payable will give it to you automatically. You give our accounts receivable automatically in our bank balances. And we work with them and we put an infrastructure in place. So we get all our bank details automatically from them into our systems without any human touch. Every time a transaction happens. Same way we give them our information when you're paying them. automated without any human touch. So we don't write checks anymore. We don't print, and in fact, it all goes seamlessly to the bank, and we get it back. And we're done with most of our banks. The rest we're done with SWIFT, through SWIFT Bureau. HSBC's been done directly. So we're done different ways for different banks, but we are connected most of our banks now. So there's no checks, there's no manual sending, there's no manual transfers. So now we have our finance department only 1/3 of the size, because it's all automated. And that's part of how we do transformation. Because we believe if it is there already, the technology is there, as it says, everything is there, it's just to tap into it. And you take your business process and see how you can get value out of it. That's on the finance side. And going more than beyond that, now we're working on this. We want to get market rates, statements, etc., and automate this, use machine learning. So we're trying to build machine learning into it so that you can automatically go and say, oh, I need more dollars here, go and go to the best writers and get the best rate and flush it through the banks. We're trying to build machine learning into do it as well to see how, because someone has to go and monitor it always and work on it. Can we do it differently? That's what we're looking at. That's the next stage. We are not done it yet. We are working on it. Plans to go live this year. Logistics, taking the supply chain a bit. We had a problem. We have because we are a global organization. There's headcounts. So we have to have a price, a price that we can sell it to a customer to break even. But there is a market below us which is about 50 million in China, where we can't make manufacture because it's so low cost, and they produce in the home and sell it. We were not planning to enter this market, but when we were speaking to Alibaba, they deal with this market. We were talking, how can you enter this market and we can't? What is your differences? And then we went and met Best Logistics, which is their arm, Alibaba's distribution arm, who is with Goldman Sachs. They've done a deal, I think 60% Alibaba, 40% Goldman Sachs. Best Logistics has a warehouse system. What they do is you have Levi's and other customers connecting to them automatically from the order, and they connect to warehouses. This warehouse is not owned by them. So tomorrow, if you have a garage, you can be a warehouse. They send you instruction and the goods to stocks, exactly how to locate it, and they'll tell you what to pick and keep it ready, and someone will come and pick it. So all these are individuals, and through the system, they create an ecosystem, and that's how they are able to manage at a so detailed level in anywhere in China and deliver it. So this is what Alibaba's strength, that they can. Amazon can't compete in China. They're small. The reason is they've gone away. They use the cottage industry. A warehouse could be a house. I've been to one place in a very remote area where I found Levi's and other stuff in a house. It's a small size of a house, and they're stacked it, and that's one of our warehouses. But we need to have some conditions when you're stuck in stuff. But they have created, they audit that place. But anyone can be a warehouse. If you have a truck or a van, you can be a delivery. So they connect all these people around the world. It's like Uber. They just connect people. Just strange. And that's fantastic. It works. So we tapped into that. So we have to change our business model. And that's their strength. They said, okay, let's tap into you. We said, okay, now we have a problem. We can't manufacture at their cost because we have high-tech equipments. We can't. But we can find people who can produce at a lower cost. Right, so we give the orders to our digital system. So we have some orders coming through the Alibaba platform. We have some coming through our e-com platform. We have about over 80% adoption in our e-com. And then what we do is we have a tier 1 supplier who manufactures the good for us at a very good low rate, because they have equipments which are not high-tech, not like us. So they are low investment and they do it. And we have their manufacturing details in our system. And raw material, we control the raw material supply chain. So we say, we know how much raw materials they have. We automatically generate the requirements for raw materials, and we tell the raw material supplier to deliver it. And all these things are done automatically through our systems based on the order we get. And when the goods are finished, it goes to the Alibaba warehouse. And it's based on the location of the customer, it goes through. And you get delivered to the customer. So this was a over $15 million market. We were expecting to hit about $4 million in this. So okay, let's get into this, take some small products. low quality, low value. Let's try this market. Well, now we're going to reach 10 million by end of June. It's been a very success, and we are going to see where we cannot produce because these are low quality, low value products. You can change the way you do things. You just don't own the brand. This is exactly what Nike and others do. Simple. It's doable. It's only people are doing different things. You just have to extend your supply chain, extend the way you do, to tap into what others are doing and integrate. This is IoT. People talk about Industry 4.0, so we had to go into it because our CEO has played golf with someone and he has said, hey, you need to do this. We came out, okay. We took 2 markets. We took China and India, Bangladesh. So we put sensors in our machines. Then we put sensors in all effluent treatment in 12 sites and water quality checking. And then what happens, we get source data. Then we blend with all our manufacturing transaction data, create a whole ecosystem in a data lake. So we have a complete data lake which feeds gazillions of data. And we have every transaction captured, every sensor sending data. I don't know, should be having about 100,000 sensors already sending data. And then we have data mining, data science running on it. We have these beautiful dashboards. I'll show you next. This is one of our dashboards. Seamlessly coming, data is there. Okay, now what are we going to do with it? We invested so much money. We put things, we see things which we already know. There's some things we come to know, but it's good. It's working. We see efficiency. We see all the movement. Then we thought, okay, now we need to change something. We need to get value out of it. We've realized when you're creating a cone, the ramping up time is where the thread could break or the quality could deteriorate. But after it ramped up, when you run it, it's fantastic. What we did was we created a system in Build where we can go and change the machine speeds around the world. So we built this process where this is our head of manufacturing, and he sits. Where should he sit? In Shenzhen, or I don't know where he sits now. In UK, I'm not sure. Stephen Caots. So he has the ability to go and change the speed of the spindle that winds it globally. He can select the machines for that product, and he can click a button. It goes to the machine. The new recipe sits in. Next time they do the product, it's at a different speed. So we can gain productivity. So what we do is we have taken the data that we receive and we're using it, functionalizing into operations. So that's the only best use case we found, so that we can improve productivity and gain out of the millions of investment we did on IoT. But it's working, and we can see the quality levels have improved as well as the speeds have improved, so get more output from the machine at a higher quality. Right. Talking something that we work very closely with customers now. Like this is something we've done with Adidas, we're doing with Decathlon, Lululemon. So one is we're taking how we connect their purchase order, purchase to pay process and our O2C process, and we are integrating the two. And if you're any customer with Caots, we're inviting you to come and join us. So how many purchase orders roughly in your organization you do? Any guess, anyone? A week at least? How many purchase orders do you do? No purchasing people, you know. Any guess? So we do about 15,000 purchase orders a week. So someone prints a purchase order, fax it or email it, something happens in our organization. This is a lot of labor as well. Our purchasing department is staffed more than the IT technology department because they have to do a lot of manual work. Then we have over 11,000 suppliers. You can imagine how much work it is. We thought, okay, this is too much work. But we said, oh, our customers might be having the same problem. We said, okay, customers, can we co-create a value with you? So we looked at a customer who has same geography, sort of spread, and who is a very close customer. This is MS. Good friends of ours, working closely with me. I hope they were here too because they didn't have enough time. They're on holiday. If not, they were planning to jointly present with me. And Caots have a distribution very close to them. We're very close in co-creating value. We said, okay, let's join up this. Your process and my process, let's link together so that we eliminate manual work. So they have to generate POs, they have to check stocks, they have to follow up with us on emails or phone calls, sending things through. I said, okay, why do you have to do that? Because we have the information and you don't have it. It's a way of we presenting our information in your system. You can do that on demand. If you're done it for banking, why can't we do it here? Okay. And we have to do manual work of order entry, order confirmation, shipping notice, dispatch note, a lot of things manually. So we looked at, we have to do a lot of manual work as well. So how do we integrate these two so that we can eliminate this stuff? So then we automate these systems. So in their side, they put in a system in place. We put a system in our side in place. And we said, okay, you have information, we have information, let's share it automatically. So we together, we co-created the end-to-end. So their purchase-to-pay system process and our O2C process it's linked, except for the remittance and clearing part. Still, we are working on. We went live last week, a couple of months ago. The remittance clearing is the one we are going to do, which means the bank payments automatically clears off with us, so no one has to go and say, oh, that invoices with this PO, and here is what we do in Caots. We just want to eliminate that as well. They got the full value because their one is fully automated. They're only humans on their side. We can cut about 3 headcounts in our side. So just this is for only Sri Lanka, but they are in Egypt, all over the world. So then we just can eliminate these processes and just automate it. The good thing is then you're tied up with the customer and customer is pleased. For them it's easy. So we are taking our point of sale from the merchandisers or the purchasing team to their supply chain area. So when they generate the PO, it's automatically with us. When they have a forecast, it's in our system. And when we do a delivery or change in time, it's in their system. So they are planning, and our planning is integrated now. It's almost one planning system. But it's 2 different systems, but talking to each other. So not only with MS we have done this. We have done this with other organizations like Boca. We are working with PowerChain now. We are working with Decathlon on dealer integration. So we are working with many organizations. And Crystal Martin Group has come to us recently. They want to integrate fully with us. So we are working closely with them. We had about 2 meetings with them, and I'll be going and visiting them in a couple of weeks to create complete value chain. So they don't want any of their people to send us things manually, and we don't want to send to them anything manually. They want to automate the entire process, digitize the entire process, so that everything is seamlessly integrated between the systems. That helps us, that helps them. And what do we provide? So we have a end-to-end service that we provide for all our customers. We say, customers, if you want your system is SAP HANA, any system, don't worry, we'll deal with it. We'll even come and build it for you if you need help. If you're working on Excel spreadsheet, don't worry, there's one customer in India, I can't remember the name. He's about 8 billion for us. He works on Excel worksheet. We said, okay, we'll come and help you. So we build it. If you have a supplier portal, yeah, we can work with you. If you are using a SQL, or if you have only emails, but still fine, we'll work with you. And we'll integrate with you, and we'll provide all these things as a service for you. These are all plug-and-play services that we available through microservices, through our digital platforms. You ask us what you want, where do you want to optimize, and we'll work with you. So if you're a brand, if you're a customer, yeah, please come and we will have to co-create with you value